I'm just getting started with marketing on LinkedIn. Good for you. I do high performance health coaching to help female entrepreneurs and CEOs optimize their cognition through blood work, personalized neuronutrition, and biohacking. That sounds super interesting. Would you launch a newsletter right away or wait until you have more first degree connections? I have 600. So the first thing to note, when you launch your LinkedIn newsletter, everyone who is a follower will get invited, not only those who are first degree connections. So in this question, you say you have 600 first degree connections. It will really depend on how many followers you have, not your connections. Usually people will have more followers than first degree connections. For the purposes of this example, let's just say that you do have 600 followers. You should get anywhere from 60 to 100 to 150 subscribers within the first 48 hours on your newsletter. Now, the percentage at which people that are your followers will subscribe to your newsletter really depends on one major thing. How top of mind are you already? I could have one client with 30,000 followers on LinkedIn, but who has maybe been inactive for about 6 months to a year before they start working with us. They come to us, they want to launch their newsletter. Someone like that may have a lower acceptance rate because they haven't really remained top of mind. So someone like the client with 30,000 followers who's kind of been invisible for 6 to 12 months will launch and maybe get 2,000 subscribers within the first 48 hours, which is pretty low. Let's just say there's another client and this client has 30,000 followers too, but this client has been really top of mind, posts a lot, posts video, people know that they're a real person, maybe they do 1 or 2 live events a month. This client inherently will have a launch with almost double the subscribers almost every single time. Why? Because when that trigger goes out and people get their invite, the people know who they are. They're like, oh, it's Sally. Oh, it's Shanee. Oh, it's Shankar. The reason why our clients have successful launches is because I try to get them as top of mind as possible before their launch. It's really situational. How long can you wait? Let's say that you're in a situation in your business where you need to get a client this week, no matter what. You have no time to create any other type of content. Why would you do in 2 hours what you could do right now? And so it really is a situational answer. LinkedIn is on your side. The fact that we can launch up to 5 LinkedIn newsletters makes me want to say to you, why would you wait? Why would we do tomorrow what we could do today? Why would we do in 2 hours what we could do right now? Why would we as business owners choose to not get in front of as many quality people as possible as fast as possible? And so I think that you should launch your newsletter with 600 followers. And what I also think is that you should then start to grow your following. Maybe say to yourself, I want to grow to 3,000 followers or 5,000 or 10,000 followers over the next 90 days on LinkedIn. And then at that 90-day period, you've been consistent with content, you've grown your following, you've been consistent with your newsletter, you've collected data to know what your audience really wants you to double down on LinkedIn. That's when you could launch your second newsletter. And let's say that in 90 days, you have 10,000 followers. When you launch your newsletter, we're looking at a launch that can have anywhere from 10 to 20% acceptance rate in the first 48 hours. But because you would have been top of mind for 90 days, it would lean more towards 20% or more. And what that would mean is that your second launch, you would have more than 2,000 subscribers in the first 48 hours. I think that as business owners, we sometimes want everything to be perfect. We sometimes are our own worst enemies. Before we start, before we launch, we want the thumbnails to be right. We want the content to be genius content that not even Harvard Business Review or New York Times bestseller has ever seen. writing. And what we don't realize is that those articles, that those bestsellers were 10 years in the making of people practicing their craft of writing, of creating content, of all of those things. And I still experience this today. One of the things that I've had to overcome recently when it comes to wanting things to be perfect before we really started was the YouTube channel. We need all the right scripts. We need the right thumbnails. We need the right editing. And then I kind of realized maybe I'm just afraid to try because maybe I don't think that I have what it takes to grow on YouTube. Maybe I don't want to put in that work. Maybe I don't want to let things go that aren't serving the business, that maybe I'm afraid I'm going to fail. And this is where fear becomes dangerous, is when it cloaks itself in other things like procrastination, perfectionism, and all that stuff. So I encourage you to get in front of more of the right people today and to really have a framework of, if you could serve someone, if one person could benefit from you starting your newsletter now, if you could change one person's life from sharing that first article within your newsletter today versus tomorrow, if you believe that you could help one person by starting now, then do it. Why would we not?